Okay, in 2.1 we are going to talk about solving different types of equations. A lot of this will be a review for you, but hopefully that we get good grades on this and then we can move on. So just a little review. In level 1 we're solving two-step equations. So what you want to do is you want to always get the whatever has the x term, say so whatever term has the x, by itself first, and then take care of whatever is around the x. So in this case, in A, you have 12 plus x over 3 equals 11. So we'd want to get this term by itself first because that's with the x. We're gonna ignore the 3 for a second. We're going to take care of this 12. So to move this 12 over to the other side, you're going to do the opposite. And since this 12 is positive, you're going to subtract it. Now the reason why I'm subtracting is not because of this addition sign, it's because that this 12 is positive, and when you subtract 12 minus 12, that gets you 0. And that's what you want. So you're going to be left with x over 3 equals negative 1. And now since we have our x by itself, we're going to take care of this 3. X is being divided by 3, so we're going to multiply both sides by 3. And x equals negative 3 is our solution. Okay, let's take a look at another type here. Now our x here is first, so again, it's attached to that 4/3. So I'm going to take care of this minus 5 by adding 5 to the other side. Now on a side note, this 4/3 x means a lot of different things. You could write this as 4x over 3, or you can think about this as 4 over 3 times x. It means the same thing in both cases. So we can solve this a little bit in a couple different ways. The first way they'll show you is by multiplying by the reciprocal. So when we think about 4/3 times x, and when we undo that multiplying by x, we think about dividing. And from last unit, we learned that when you divide fractions, you multiply by the reciprocal. So that cancels these out. And then 16 times 3 over 4, remember you can reduce this, and this is just going to equal 12. The other way that you could have done that is 16 times 3 and then divide by 4. Okay, now if that reciprocal stuff doesn't make sense to you, you can think about this the other way. You can say 4x over 3 equals 16. And to get rid of that 3 the same way that we did in the first problem, you're going to multiply by 3. So 4x equals 16 times 3. Well, 6 times 3 is 18. 18, and then carry the 1. 3 times 1 is 3, plus 1 is 4. And then you're going to divide by 4. So essentially getting the same answer, just in a couple different ways. So if multiplying by the reciprocal makes sense to you, go ahead and do that. Otherwise, you can write 4/3 x as just 4x over 3. It means the exact same thing. And last but not least, now we've got a couple different x's. So we've got an x in this first term and that one. So we can't get those by itself until we distribute the 2 and the negative 3. So we got 2x plus 8 minus 3x plus 6, because it's negative, negative makes it positive, plus 9 equals 11. And now I'm going to combine my like terms. 2x and 3x, negative 3x gives me negative 1x. And then I have positive 8, positive 6, positive 9. 8 plus 6 is 14, and then plus 9 is 23. And then you're going to go ahead and subtract the 23. Got negative 1x. 11 minus 23, remember if you can't do that, just take 23 minus 11, which is 12. And since the 23 was a larger number and it's negative, your answer is going to be negative. So I got negative 12 here. Then just divide both sides by negative 1. So x equals 12.